What is your all-time favorite episode from any TV show? Bad Blood from season 5 of The X-Files. It's a funny one-off with Luke Wilson and Patrick Renat. Mulder puts a stake through the heart of a teenage vampire/pizza delivery boy. Then him and Scully realize the vampire teeth are fake. The kid is no vampire. The episode is Mulder and Scully telling each other their sides of the events to get their story straight before having a meeting with director Skinner. As their stories are coming to a close, Skinner announces they gotta go back and investigate. BC the kid came back to life and bit the coroner's neck with his regular human teeth. Joe's Chunks from Outer Space is a similar and also great episode. Scrubs, My Lunch Drive. Cox accidentally infects 3 patients with rabies and loses it. For a show that was predominantly a comedy, that 30-minute episode had more emotion and power than 99% of any TV series. You Only Move Twice. The Simpsons. Hank Scorpio is a premium tier character who only appeared in 1 episode. If you could kill someone on the way out, it would help me a lot. I tackled a loafer at work today. The Sopranos. Pine Barrens. Just a phenomenal episode of one of the greatest TV series of all time. I could watch Chrissy and Paulie arguing and busting each other's balls as they freeze to death in the middle of the woods for hours. We shoulder stopped at Roy Rogers. Yeah. And I shouldered Duckdale Evans, but I didn't. You're not gonna believe this. He killed 16 Czechoslovakians. The guy was an interior decorator. Apostrophe. Huh. His house looked like shit. Apostrophe. Season 3, Episode 10 of Futurama. The luck of the Frierish. Tears every time. Honestly, this may be an unpopular opinion, so let me preface with this. Jurassic Park is, and always will be, sad as hell. But for me, the episodes showing Fry's family dealing with his disappearance really hurt. The luck of the Frierish especially. It's one of the few episodes of any series that brings me to tears every time I watch it. Especially after watching it with my younger brother the day before I moved away for college. Just seeing how much Fry's family cared about him, even though he never thought they did, really ducks me up. Don't know the name of the episode, but the one where Fry helps an Oblonian find his spaceship, and as thanks they let him visit one of his mum's dreams after he disappeared. He doesn't say anything. He just hugs her, and I cry. I think the best episode of The Simpsons is Selma's Choice. Basically the plot of the episode, leaving out some of the side plots, is that Selma takes Bart and Lisa to Duff Gardens because Homer gets sick because he insists on continuing to eat this nasty sandwich he got for free. The kids and Homer initially got screwed out of a day at Duff Gardens because their generic great aunt died. She leaves a video will that implores Patty and Selma not to doom themselves to dying alone and instead to get married and start a family. Patty doesn't give a f, but it hits Selma hard. Homer, food poisoned, stays home with Marge while Selma takes the kids to Duff Gardens. Long story short, Lisa drinks the water in the It's Small World parody ride and starts tripping like she's on acid. At the end, the day over, Selma is returning Bart and Lisa to Marge, and it's at that point she understands what she truly wants in life, and that she's actually quite happy being alone and just sharing expenses with her sister. All this time she's felt drawn into Patty's orbit or something, and that maybe she would have wanted kids and family, but it's at that moment in the episode she realizes she, too, would rather be alone and raising Jub rather than have a baby and have a family. That's a pretty hot cultural take for the time it came out, like 1992 or 3. And not to mention the whole ducking episode is hilarious. It has such classic Simpsons signage as the Lucky Stiff funeral home and just some of Homer's best childishness. BoJack Horseman. The episode with his mother's funeral. They should have won an Emmy for that episode. Man, I'm surprised nobody here mentioned stupid piece of shit. That episode was also goddamn incredible, and Holler's one-liner at the very end. That voice goes away after a while, right? Yeah. There was an episode of The Simpsons where Homer's stupidity was discovered to be the result of him having a crayon jammed up his nose into his brain. He got it removed and became intellectual and consequently closer to Lisa. For reasons I forget, he got it reversed and went back to stupid, but Lisa found a note he wrote while clever. It showed how loving he was. It said, "I'm taking the coward's way out, but before I do, I just wanted to say, being smart made me appreciate just how amazing you really are. Mr. Simpson. This procedure could increase your brain power or possibly kill you. Increased my killing power, eh? It Crowd. Season 2 episode 1. Gay musical called Gay. I'm disabled. My husband uses a wheelchair, legitimately, and now uses this line in a high-pitched voice whenever I ask him to do housework. True Detective. S1E4 who goes there, coupled with the fact that TDS1 is IMO one the best single seasons of TV ever. This episode and the finale always stood out. The 6 minutes tracking shot at the end of the episode is one for the ages. I remember the first time I saw it, when the cut finally happens and it shifts to the chopper view. I felt like I hadn't blinked the entire time. That scene had me so wired. You know, the show does a great job when you can feel what the main character is feeling in the moment. The episode in Breaking Bad where Jess is on his way to kill those 2 drug dealers that killed his girlfriend's brother, and Walt comes zooming in and runs them over with his car and then shoots one. Such a badass episode and powerful moment for Walter White. I like it was half measures. That shit was epic. Plus Mike's story made me really understand him. The episode of Malcolm in the Middle where the boys are stealing from the church and selling for profit, and Francis gets to Alaska and realizes he's in for a bad time. Terrific A and B story. I love the episode where it shows 2 parallel universes. In one, Lois takes the boys to the bowling alley, in the other version, where Hal takes the boys to bowling alley. That episode was nominated for 3 Emmys and won 2. Star Trek, TNG, The Inner Light with Picard's flute. I haven't seen this episode in 10-15 plus years and I can still hum that tune. Breaking Bad. Season 5 episode 5 Dead Freight. The train heist episode. I watched it live and have never felt so anxious and excited throughout the entire thing. I was literally pacing the room, I was so tense. Then I screamed duck at the end as it faded to black. Perfectly paced / scripted / directed episode. Edit. Since a lot of people are asking. By live, I meant I watched it as it was broadcast on TV for the first time. Commercial breaks just added more and more anxiety. Streaming doesn't do shows like this justice because you don't get to anxiously await resolution. Just start the next episode. That final shot. The jar with the tarantula falling into the sand. Then darkness. I was screaming at that piece of shit Todd before realizing it was all because Walt said no one can know. My favorite scene was the jail killings under a few minutes. Everyone's Waiting. The final episode of 6 Feet Under. Link. Wikipedia. org/wiki/everyone%27s_waiting. Mad Men. Shut the door. Have a seat. That's a great one. I also really like one a few episodes earlier. Guy walks into an advertising agency. He might lose his foot right when he got it in the door. Ozymandias. Breaking Bad. Season 5. Episode 14. What? You want me to beg? You're the smartest guy I've ever met. And you're too stupid to see. He made up his mind 10 minutes ago. Do what you're gonna do. Amazing episode. But the best delivered line in television is when Walt and Hank confront each other in Hank's garage. Hank, I don't even know who you are, Walt. If you really don't know, then perhaps your best course of action is to tread lightly. Cranston goes from school teacher Walt to Heisenberg to a hybrid of the two in the course of seconds. Once More with Feeling, or the Body Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Also Hush. The Gentlemen were the scariest villains in that series for me. Getting your heart cut out right next to other sleeping people and not being able to scream. I saw an interview with someone in the cast where they said people didn't even want to eat lunch with the actors who played them because they were so freaked out. I thought the hovering was a cool touch too. Yes, it was hilariously acted. The classroom scene where they're holding up paper drawings to communicate. Genius. The Fight. Parks and Rec. Why? Because snake juice sales are gonna be off the charts. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.